I haven't been to King's Dominion since the days of riding the Hurler and the Volcano. Lots of things have changed. Come join us, as the annuals do, a day at King's Dominion. Now, the Daniels do love an amusement park. That does not mean that we ride everything at an amusement park. We do have our limitations, but we believe that it's a fun full day of entertainment. For the money you can spend, you can get some good food, some fun rides, sometimes good shows, and great laughs and memories. So we do love to attend an amusement park. And so this one we went to is King's Dominion. It's located in Dawesville, Virginia. It's about a 2.5-hour drive from where we are in North Carolina. So it was a day trip for us. We went previously in April for a band and chorus competition, and so our time was limited on that day, so we decided we would go back for a full day as a family. And so we went in early June, right as our school got out, so the crowds were really low, and we had a full day at the park. King's Dominion also has a water park inside the park, which I have never done. I don't tend to mix riding amusement park rides with getting wet, and we don't hardly ride water rides as it is, so we have never done the water park that's in King's Dominion. At the time when we purchased our tickets, they had kid prices available for everyone, so we got 3 of those, and then they had this combo deal where you get parking, a day admission, and an all-day dining pass, so that you could eat a meal, an entree and a side every 90 minutes. So we bought one of those, shared that, so that we got our parking, and then we paid a cheaper price for the rest of us. So our plan when we arrived was to walk straight through to the back of the park to ride a very popular ride, Twisted Timbers. So we walked back there. We realized that everybody else's plan was the same, so we jumped in line to ride Apple Zapple. Now, Apple Zapple is a wild mouse type of ride. It has a 44-inch height requirement. It only goes 30 miles per hour. It's your fun little family ride. Another reason we chose to ride Apple Zapple first was because we knew that it's a very slow loading ride, as it has small individual cars that you have to wait on to get on. So after we rode that with 0 line, we went to Twisted Timbers, where you do have to put all of your stuff in a locker, and you do have to pay a little bit of money for those lockers. Now, if you have phones, glasses, very small items, they will let you put them in a locker in the line once you go through the initial line. But if you have a big backpack or something, they're going to make you turn around and go put your stuff in a locker. So Twisted Timbers has a 48-inch height requirement. It has a 109-foot barrel roll drop, and it goes 54 miles per hour. Now, the fun thing about this ride is it's not the fastest and tallest roller coaster, but you come out of your seat on almost every hill and every barrel roll that you go on. It's very thrilling. The first time I rode it, I was very surprised at how thrilling it was, but it's a lot of fun. My youngest kid went from being scared to ride it to riding it 3 times this time. It's a lot of fun. From there, we went and grabbed a bite to eat. Because the park opened at 11, it was already lunchtime. So we went to the Jukebox Diner, where they have cheeseburgers, chicken sandwiches, onion rings, and french fries. So we grabbed a chicken sandwich and french fries. We shared it, and then we went to ride one of my favorite rides, Racer 75. It used to be called Rebel Yell. It has a 48-inch height requirement. It has an 81-foot initial drop, followed by constant hills, a great tunnel. It goes 56 miles per hour. It's a really enjoyable ride. Next, we headed over to another area of the park, and we rode the Backlot Stunt coaster. This has a 48-inch height requirement, although they call it a family ride. It only goes 40 miles per hour. It is a launch coaster, but don't be fooled by the family coaster name and the 40 miles per hour and the small drop. That ride has some zip, and that ride goes round and round and round enough. It made me dizzy, and I said, no thank you. Next, we headed over to the Jungle Expedition part of the park. It looks like they're really trying to go for some fun theming over there, and it looks really great. But we went to the ride Reptilian. It's the old avalanche bobsled. So it takes you up a lift hill, and then you glide down the track. It goes 41 miles per hour. There is a 40-inch height requirement, and it's fun. It's just okay fun, but it's fun. Be warned of the seating arrangements, though. You do have to sit two to a car, and one person is basically sitting like in your lap. You straddle your legs around them for the ride. Next, we head into Planet Snoopy, which is the kiddie section of King's Dominion, with a 10 and 13-year-old. We do not spend a lot of time in Kiddieland, but they have lots of fun-looking rides for little kids. We did head to Woodstock Express, which is a wooden roller coaster for kids and families. It has a 40-inch height requirement. It is a tight squeeze if you are a grown-up on the coaster. It goes 35 miles per hour and has a 35-foot drop. It's a fun little zippy coaster for kids and families. A lot of fun for a wooden coaster. Then it was time to eat again. Ding, ding, ding. The 90-minute timer went off at some point in there, and we went to the Firehouse Barbecue, which is there in Planet Snoopy, and it has like your smokehouse, brisket, pulled pork, ribs, that sort of thing. It was super yummy. After getting a bite to eat, we went and found a ride called Boo Blasters. It's tucked away back in the back corner of Planet Snoopy. Think Buzz Lightyear if you've been to Disney. If you've been to Hershey, think Reese's Cup Fusion. So you ride in a little car in a dark house kind of thing, and you shoot stuff. It's really actually hard, except for the fact that my 10-year-old managed to slaughter me every time. After that, the desire for taking a nap was real for the parents. So we slowed down a little bit, took a break, got some Sweet Frogs ice cream. And as far as snacks go, they have a good variety there. We always get the Auntie Anne's pretzels. We got some Rita's Italian ice, but they also have Dippin' Dots, funnel cakes, boardwalk fries, your usual popcorn. So lots of snacks options. Continuing the break-ish for the grown-ups, we let the kids ride the swings, and then we went and rode the Ferris wheel, which I think is called the Americana. And then I think the kids rode Racer 75 again. From there, we went over to Old Virginia to ride the Grizzly. The Grizzly has a 48-inch height requirement. It goes 51 miles per hour and has an 87-foot drop. The Grizzly is a classic old wooden coaster, but it was refurbished in the last few years. They made it a little smoother, but it's just a good old classic wooden coaster. Ding, 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 the alarm has sounded so that we can eat again. So we headed to the Grain and Grill. It is kind of near the front on that International Street. And they have like healthy stuff, but we don't eat healthy. So we got like this spicy pork and some au gratin potatoes. And they give you like a pita wedge. It's super yummy, but they have really good options, and you could be healthy if you wanted to. Next, we headed towards the back of the park and rode Flight of Fear. This is an indoor launch coaster, so if you know Disney, think Aerosmith coaster. It's inside, it's dark, it's fast. It has a 54-inch height requirement. It goes 54 miles per hour. It has 4 inversions and a 74-foot drop. It's fast, it's fun, it's thrilling. Next, we did a repeat of our favorites, Racer 75 and Twisted Timbers, or as Greg calls it,
Shiver Me Timbers.
Because there were hardly any waits all day, we went hard and we were tired, and it was about 7 o'clock. So we headed towards the gate, but not before that alarm went off again. We could eat again, so we stopped at Border Burrito for dinner. It got nachos, tacos, kind of like Moe's or Chipotle. It was a good way to end our day at the park. Now, there are a lot of rides we did not ride, and we still had a full fun day at the park. There's the Anaconda roller coaster. It has a 48-inch height requirement. It goes 50 miles per hour. It has a 144-foot drop, 4 inversions. The deal with that is it's a 1991 roller coaster. It's kind of older and it gives me a headache. The next one we did not ride is the Dominator. It's a floorless coaster. Your feet dangle. It has a 54-inch height requirement. It goes 65 miles per hour. It has 5 inversions and a 148-foot drop. And then we have Project 305, which used to be called the Intimidator. That 305 is because the first drop is 305 feet. And it goes 90 miles per hour. Yes, 90 miles per hour. There's a 54-inch height requirement. Now, I had heard about people graying out on this ride, and I had never heard of such. I rode this ride in April when we went, and I discovered what graying out was. Coming around after that hill, coming around that bank, the world slowly turned black for just a few seconds, and then I was back up for the rest of the 90 mile per hour ride, which is so intense. It is very thrilling, but for this lady here, it was so intense. It was not enjoyable. It is definitely a thrill ride, though. The next one we didn't ride was Tumbili. It has a 48-inch height requirement. It's only 34 miles per hour, but that thing spins while you're on the coaster, so that's just a big nope. There are lots of other flat rides there. There's the boat, which goes upside down. They have a swingy, spinny thing. They have a drop tower. They have like the Scrambler and Flying Eagles. They have water rides, the log flume and the Canyon Get Drenched ride. Lots and lots of kiddie rides, which brings me to my top 6 things that we loved about King's Dominion. Number 1 is the amount of rides. Number 2 is the variety of rides. Number 3 is the food, the quality and the food deal that we got. Number 4, the park is easy to navigate. It's a big circle. Number 5, places to sit down. And number 6, the price. Now, things that we thought were just kind of When is the 11 o'clock opening time? Was it plenty of time for us to get worn out? Yes. It just seemed late. Number 2 is no shows. Now, I see that they have a show playing now, but the 2 times that we went, there were no shows, or at least there was one show for little kids, but no other shows to sit down, take a break, and have some entertainment. Number 3 was the excavator taters. Was never open when I was there, and I really wanted some. Number 4, the atmosphere is just much more amusement parky than other places. They're trying to get themed lands, but it's still, with the water park in there, it just feels very amusement park. Number 5 is that the kiddie section is all together. Now, they do have rides for kids scattered throughout the park, but I guess just take it or leave it. If you have kids, you take them all to one spot, you let them play. But I have always liked other parks that every time there's a big ride, there's a little ride. So if the kids are with grandparents or non-riders and they want to get on the little carousel while the big people are on the roller coaster, that there's rides scattered throughout the park. This kind of has both, but it leans more towards all the kid rides are in one section. That's why it's just kind of The other number 6 thing is that King's Dominion is cashless. So does it really bother us that it's cashless? No, it means we can take less. But I also was sending a teenager to the park by herself, and the thought of having to figure out how that's going to work without sending her with cash could have been a little headachy-ish, but it ended up being fine. That's why it's just But also note, King's Dominion is cashless. Well, there you have it. Daniel's Do King's Dominion, our first park review. If you made it this far, thanks for sticking it out. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned to see what the Daniels do.